Hi everyone, Josh Smith with GottaBeMobile.com and Notebooks.com. We're taking a look at the ThinkPad X1 Carbon, announced at CES 2014 with an adaptive touch row. We're going to do a quick unboxing. We got a little information, our power adapter. A lot of people like to see how big this is, so it's pretty standard size for a Lenovo laptop. It's not going to add a lot of bulk to your bag, but it'll add a little bit. Looks like we have an adapter here for a Ethernet. So there's not a standard size Ethernet, it looks like. Let's pull this out. And get a better look at the actual ThinkPad here. This is the ThinkPad X1 Carbon. What's new this year is an adaptive touch panel right here that changes based on what you're doing. We have a nice Lenovo ThinkPad keyboard. We have our track point. We have the ability to right click up here and a touchpad that we can click on as well. We have a 14-inch display. And run down real quick. This has a 2560 by 1440 resolution. This unit, as configured, is $1,529. Comes with a 180 gig SSD, 4 gig of RAM, 720p webcam. Clocks in at about 3.15 pounds and has an 8-cell battery. This top here is a carbon fiber reinforced polymer, and the bottom is a magnesium aluminum alloy. So we have a very, very nice feeling device, and it is also at the same time still very light. This is nice and thin. Bring you in closer and take a look at some of these ports and connections. So along the left side of the laptop we have our power connection, HDMI, mini display port, USB 3.0, and then a microphone headphone jack. If we swivel this around, you'll notice that we have another USB 3.0, and this is a small adapter to plug in that included Ethernet adapter that ships with this device, so you can connect to a wired network. Now, there's not really much else in terms of connectivity. We have some speakers here on the bottom, decent sized vent, these metal hinges, and another speaker over here. You'll notice that we don't have an SD card slot, so you'll need an adapter for that, which is a little bit of a disappointment on something like this, which you may need to connect a camera or an SD card to. But overall, if you're on the go for work, you might not have a need for that SD card, or you'd be willing to sacrifice and put that adapter into your bag. Let's open it up, take a closer look at this keyboard. So the one really cool thing about the ThinkPad X1 Carbon is this touchpad can, or I should say this function row can change based on what you're using. So you can toggle through it with a press of your finger there, and then you can control different things: brightness, volume, access to other different functions that you might need, such as cut, copy, paste, reload a page, voice, and webcam. So there's a lot of different things you can do with this, and this will change based on the app you're in, and again by pressing this dedicated function button over here on the left hand side, so that you can have access to a variety of different things right from this right here. You can't choose, you can't say, oh, I really want this shortcut up here, but the ones that are built in are handy. We're going to have a closer look at that as we get to use the device. We have a backlit keyboard with our track point built in for control, and we have a nice size touchpad here, and you can click and tap. There are buttons up towards the top if you prefer to use the track point as well. As far as the display goes on the ThinkPad X1 Carbon, we have a 14-inch 2560 by 1440 resolution display. It looks sharp. We can bump the brightness is full there. We can drop that brightness down to improve battery life and still view the screen pretty well. Again, this one starts at about $1,500. We're going to have a closer look at how this stacks up as a mobile device. We'll offer comparison to the MacBook Air. Here again is your charging cable, just to give you an idea of the thickness on that. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. You can head over to GottaBeMobile.com to check out more about the ThinkPad X1 Carbon and this adaptive panel right here above your keyboard.